Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Yesterday I was so scared. I promise you I was so scared because at the moment if something can go wrong, you can be sure that it will go wrong for Juventus Football Club. We'll speak about tactics, we'll speak about the press conference, about squad list and also the lineups in today's video. So don't forget to put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe to the channel because we start immediately. Why was I scared yesterday? Because since the morning I knew that at 6 p.m. Italian time, Thiago Motta would speak together with Weah in press conference preparing the game of Aston Villa. Yesterday 6 p.m. nobody. 6:30 p.m. nobody. 6:40 who do I see? Thiago Motta, but not with Tim, with Andrea Cambiaso. And that's where I immediately start thinking bad. I think there is something that happened while getting up on the plane. Maybe the airco, maybe the seats were a bit too close to the other ones and he injured himself. You never know. Seriously, if something is going wrong, it goes wrong with Juve. And I was extremely scared. Luckily, it was not why Weah was not next to Thiago Motta. What was the reason? Yesterday, when they arrived in Birmingham with their plane, there was actually some passport control. And when they were actually asking the people to get out of the plane, they asked them to go out in alphabetic order to control them. And there was a problem with the passport of Weah because you know it, he has two passports. He has the American one and the French one. Well, yesterday in Birmingham, they were not happy with the French passport of Weah. They were asking, where is your USA passport? He said, I don't have it with me. So it took longer than expected. Waiting. At a certain moment, Thiago Motta said, we go already with Andrea Cambiaso. We will speak there and Weah will come later. Then I'm not sure. Maybe the one that was controlling the passport was Aston Villa supporter. He said, if I can let them wait longer than expected, losing 1 hour 30 of rest, I will do it. And then he will say probably, oh, Emery, I did my part. Now it's up to you. Ragazzi, without joking, you know what was really funny yesterday? That Juventus, you know it on Juventus TV, you're able for free to watch if you're registered for free. You can watch the press conference. Well, they actually anticipated. They were doing the test and they were live. And that's the moment where you see Giovanni Albanese, well-known journalist that has been here on the channel a few times, that yesterday was joking because he said, I will do the press conference. It was really funny to see him there, testing the microphone, testing him. It was really a funny story that gave me a huge, big smile, just to tell you. The journalists are like you, like me, they are still big kids, and that was really funny to see. Anyway, yesterday when I saw the squad list, the first reaction I had was, this is not the squad list, this is the lineup, because it's extremely short. 3 goalkeepers, we have a lot of choices there, but that's it, because we have 6 defenders, 4 will play. We have 4 midfielders, 3 of them will play, and then we have forwards where 3 of them will play as well. We have 4 changes available. In terms of field players, it's really short. Thiago Motta, if you don't change the goalkeeper, can do only 4 subs, not even 5, which means if you go with 4 subs immediately and one of the players is tired or he asks for a change because he's, I don't know, injured or whatever, you finish the game with 10. So it's already giving you an indication about how the game will be. Guys, I know that you will tell me, Beppe, no excuses, we are Juventus. No excuses that we have that many injuries. Ragazzi, today I want much. Let's say I want much for the game of Aston Villa. I want the 3 points. I want the win because I'm Juventino and nothing else than the victory today will satisfy me. And I'm sure that all the Juventini are thinking like me. I'm sure that Thiago Motta and boys, I'm sure that the club are thinking like me. Nothing else that the victory will give us a smile. On the other side, we need to also check at the reality. When you are missing 8 players, when you have only 4 players on the bench, it's tough. It's not an excuse. It is a reality. It's a reality check. Then, of course, if we want to open the debate that we need to do much better in terms of the management of our injuries, then we open that debate and we will probably all be correct that something is totally wrong. By the way, Thiago Motta said it as well. It's not a coincidence. It's not the moment to speak about it because you will not solve anything today, but it's not a coincidence. So that's another debate. So I want a lot. Am I expecting a lot? I am not sure. So let's see what will happen there. Yesterday in press conference, Cambiaso spoke. I will not go through all the words because it was already yesterday and you probably read about it. The 3 things that I took as important from Andrea were, 1, more I play, more I feel well. And that's really beautiful, especially in this moment. It's reassuring to hear Andrea saying this because it's also the player that played the most minutes. Oh, by the way, I'm happy that it was again Cambiaso that was there. Of course, starting the name with a C, he was one of the first ones to get out of the plane. Makes sense that he went there with Thiago Motta, but on the other side, it's already the second time, which means also that Juventus trust him not only on the field, because he's the player with most minutes, but also in front of microphones. And that's really a beautiful sense of responsibility. We don't know if today he will be captain again, or if it will be Locatelli or Gatti. We don't know how Thiago Motta is thinking, but bringing him again in front of microphones is a beautiful sense of responsibility. Then he said the second thing, playing as a 9. Well, if it's needed, I will do it, even if I don't believe that Thiago will ask me to do that. But I would play even as a goalkeeper, again, also showing his availability there. And then the third one, when they spoke about his journey, starting from the 4th division, arriving there in Champions League, also with the armband of captain against Lazio, he said, I'm super happy, of course, to be an example for the young 17, 18 years old kids that are watching and saying, you can dream. I spoke and I interviewed Moreno Torricelli, one of my youth idols, that had a different path because he went from D immediately to Juventus. A carpenter that did that beautiful story. Look, dreams are nice, and sometimes they happen. Not a lot of time, but sometimes it's important to have dreams because they happen. Look, what were the odds that one day a small kid from Belgium would have been one of the guys that were partner of Juve, would have interviewed a lot of players, would have known a lot of players, would have been there hosting a JOFC meeting. Believe in your dreams. Anyway, these were the words of of Cambiaso. Then, yesterday, before our press conference, there was the one of Emery. Emery that said Juve is like Real Madrid. It's already the second team that is saying it. I believe that Lille said it. At the end, it finished in a draw. Hopefully today we can win, because I don't like these teams that are saying Juve is like Real Madrid. Yeah, I like, because it means that Juventus is still considered a big team, because we are a big team. But on the other side, I don't like when they are saying, hey, Juve is a big team, it's like Real Madrid, and then they give everything to beat us. Ma mi va bene anche il pari. Yesterday, Emery said, I would be happy, I would sign for the draw as well. Emery saying this, ragazzi, I know that Aston Villa is in a difficult moment. They didn't win in 6 games. The last time that they won was against an Italian team in their home in Champions League. It was Bologna 2-0. On the other side, attenzione, because I would sign for a draw. I think it's a bit exaggerated from Emery. And Thiago Motta, he understood it really well, because they know each other from Paris Saint-Germain. He said Emery would sign for a draw. What was the color of his face when he said that? Well, later I will watch the press conference of Emery and I will tell you if he was serious or not. But Thiago Motta, that knows him really well, said, I don't believe that. What about Weah? He said, if he will play, he will do well, with the characteristic that he has. But I trust everyone. Whoever will play in that position will play well. So it's not confirming yet that Weah will play as a number 9. The last time against Milan, we were all thinking that Weah would play. I said, not sure if it's right or not to let him play, because we don't have a lot of changes. So maybe we'll go again with a surprise on the bench. Could be Weah, could be Conceição, even if the lineup, according to all the media, is already done. I will show you in a second. 2 players that will play with certainties: Koopmeiners and Cambiaso. About Koopmeiners, he said, look, even with 38 fever, he is a great player and he will play tomorrow. He will be there and he will start the game. I have a lot of respect for Aston Villa, but I am confident, I am relaxed, I am confident because I trust myself and I also trust my team. Then what else did he say? He spoke about the injuries. As I told you in the beginning of the video, he said, it's not a casualty. Things are happening. We are not the only team that it happened. It happened to a lot of teams, these injuries. But we will have to do what we have to do with the things that we have at disposal, with the players that we have at disposal. So it is what it is. It is a topic that needs to be taken seriously and need to be discussed, but not today. What about not having other players like next gen or under 20 players? He said, look, I always said it, just taking players to have numbers at disposal, players at disposal on the bench, I would not do it. And that's why I'm not doing it. To be there with the first team, it means that you need to deserve it, really, to be here. Which is great, because you are following the meritocracy philosophy that he implemented since day one. showing that if you don't deserve it, well, you are not there. If you're looking at the results of the next gen, they are latest. Well, not latest anymore because the team that is below us, they took them away a few points. For once, it's not Juve. They took some points off. So probably they don't deserve. And probably it's realistic. On the other side, I tell you the truth. Look, today Next Gen is playing at 3 p.m. Italian times in Italy, in our stadium of Biella. So it makes sense that you don't call up players from there also because they are really short. They also have some injuries. But the under 20 are playing earlier in Birmingham against Aston Villa. So they will be there as well. They will be there. They will probably go to the game to watch the game. Look, having 1 or 2 players there, just there, being there on the bench because they're already in Birmingham. It's not that you are paying extra travel or that you are taking them away because they are playing in the early afternoon. Would not have been bad. For 10 minutes, guys, they are young. They can do it. Why not? Just be there in case of necessity, in case that just to not finish the game with 10 men. But it is what it is, responsibility of Thiago Motta. What else did he say? And that was something that I really appreciated. He said something important. He said, and that was the question from an English-speaking journalist about his past as a player. If he had the opportunity to go to Aston Villa or maybe the future as a coach, he said, look, I feel well at Juventus. They welcomed me really well. I see an important future in this team. We are in a growing phase. Honestly, today, I see myself at Juventus and I see me really well here. Look, when I hear Thiago Motta speaking, I see someone that is not looking for any excuse. He didn't complain about having so many injuries. He didn't complain about anything. By the way, the choices that he's making also to not take any players is going towards that direction. But I feel that Thiago Motta is extremely confident about himself, about the future. I think that we see a Thiago Motta that is extremely aligned about the plans with Cristiano Giuntoli. They have a beautiful future in mind. They know that they are in an emergency situation, that the things are not perfect at the moment, that is quite tough, but they are conscious that the path that has been taken is the right one. And that gives me a lot of trust. Whatever and regardless of the result of today, I feel that they believe in it. Anyway, Aston Villa, they will play with 11 players. We will come back on them in the pre-game. I'm happy because we will do the watch-along. It looks like an eternity. They didn't do any watch-along. Juventus plays with a 4-2-3-1 according to all the media, all the papers, all the journalists. Di Gregorio into the goal. Savona, Gatti, Calulu, Cambiaso in the defense. Then Locatelli, Thuram, Conceição, Koopman, Erciyes, and Weah up front. Can there be a change? Well, we don't have a lot. We have 4 players on the bench. Danilo, Weah, Danilo, Bangula, Rui, and Fagioli. That's it at the moment. So let's see if there will be one change. I don't think so. What do we need to pay attention for from the villains? First of all, it's the fact that they play extremely high and they play a lot with that offside rule. They play a lot with that offside. That's not really a problem for us because we have no striker. So I don't believe that we will be a lot of time offside. Jokes aside, Weah needs to pay attention if he plays at the number 9 or anyway because they play super high and that's always one of their strategy, putting the opponent offside. So one thing, then the goalkeeper that is able to do fantastic performance when he has the great night. In Premier League, he's not doing that well. This season, Martinez, in Champions League, he wakes himself up. They conceded less goals that they deserve because also of him. So pay attention to prime Buffon Martinez today. Then it's a team that is vulnerable. It's one that you can really hurt when you go into that positive transition, especially counter-attacks, because, for example, the goal that they conceded against Crystal Palace this weekend was really, really symptomatic of a team that is not 100% cohesive, that is not 100% doing the thing that the coach is asking, because they leave a lot of space open, because also that team is playing extremely high. So pay attention if you have the opportunity to go up. That will be an important one. And then, of course, we need to pay attention to that left side with Digne that played a fantastic game against Italy. So we saw him a week ago. He's one of the men that is really informed, that is really pushing there on the left side of the field. If I'm not wrong, we were speaking about Digne, the left back, a few seasons ago, possibly to Juve. Then it didn't happen. It is what it is. But we need to score. Something that we were not able to do to Milan. We need also to go back to victory. I told you we were not able to do more than 2 victories in a row. After the draw against Milan, we reset everything. We start again from zero. So today we need to start to win today, then to win this weekend against Lecce. Then we have Bologna. So we need to go with more than 2 wins in a row, starting today with finding goals. In Champions League, if Weah will play as a striker, we are also expecting a goal from him in Champions League because he didn't score there yet. He scored 4 goals in Serie A, not yet in Champions League. Who scored in Champions League are Yildiz, McKennie, that will not be there, Nico Gonzalez, that will not be there, Dusan Vlahovic, that will not be there, and Conceição. So the players that are available, they scored only 2 goals. One with Yildiz and one with Conceição. So hopefully Weah can be that fantastic wrench, la chiave inglese, la clé anglaise, the wrench to open the defense of Aston Villa and maybe to start scoring also in Champions League. Super, super, super important. So Weah, Yildiz, and then we are all expecting a top performance of Teun Koopmeiners after the disaster performance of Milan. We know it was because of the fever, or at least this is what has been reported. The fever is gone, so Teun, it's the moment to show us, to also silence the haters that are starting really to put everything in doubt. Cristiano Giuntolo, but also yourself, starting to say it's because of Atalanta that you were playing well. It's thanks to Gasperini that you were doing well and not that much because of yourself. So it would be nice to have an answer today. And also replying to the 3 Italian ones that won yesterday. Milan won with difficulties, but they won. Inter won, managing a game against Leipzig that was crazy. Crazy because it was managed from the first minute and the end of the game. And then also Atalanta 6-1. Atalanta, they're starting to be a real perfect team. Seriously, everything is working well. Charles de Ketelaere yesterday, 3 assists, 2 goals. Reteguitu, bah. Crazy. Crazy Atalanta. They have a lot of credits because they are not choosing one of the competition. They are going for both and they are doing extremely well. And we need to win. Because when I saw yesterday Manchester City winning 3-0, making changes, drawing at the end 3-3, and I saw the face, the head, the nose of Pep Guardiola, guys, you know when they will wake up. 6 games without win, 5 losses, 1 draw, the one of yesterday. You know when they will wake up. They will wake up in our home, in the Allianz Stadium. So it's important now to take the 3 points in England. Ragazzi, I hope you enjoyed that video. Put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie. Forza Juve.